Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner. Classic, let's non-classics. This is episode number 1815 and Doubleshot 1709. Got two DC trades. Both of the featured characters who have been associated with Gotham City. Yep. Now, the first one I should point out, though, contains issues that were, well, part of it was collected before, and the rest of this one, well, some of it has been collected before, but not the entirety of everything, per se. Yes. What book is it? We have Nightwing Volume 6, To Serve and Protect. This collects issues of Nightwing Volume 2, issues 47 to 53. Along with Nightwing 80-page giant. Yep, they threw this in here. And not one or two stories, the entire thing. That's one thing I love about these new printing trades. They put in the entire thing. They don't skip anything. They don't put in their trade. Nope. Put it right here. This actually is a combination of two trades, mostly. Yes. Initially put these two originally published separately as Nightwing Big Guns, which is what this one does not contain Sig Files Origins. They actually collect that in Love and Bullets. Yep, that's pretty much where it is. Yep. And it pretty much also covers 51, which was actually skipped initially, and 53. 53 was collected in the Officer Down stuff that's last sitting here, but 51, that was skipped. I do not know the reason for it, but it was skipped. For some reason, it was skipped. Most of it here, what happens here? Well, they kind of tie up for now anyways and stuff with the character Nightwing. The teenage vigilante who is basically has a similar name, Nightwing, where Nightwing fights them and he's hauled out to jail. Also, the character Sionis is captured here too. They kind of wrap up his plot thread here. Oh, by the way, we're only 17 issues away from the end of Chuck Dixon's initial run of this book. Yeah, so we got two more volumes of this. I have the next volume on order right now. In case you're curious about 53, it's part of the Officer Down storyline. Yep, that's simple what it is. Now, 80-page giant, that pretty much in a way was published the same month as issue 50. Yeah, first one is called The Quarry. Love this cover right here. Now, Chuck Dixon himself does the writing for this whole book. The interior is mostly done. The cover art for here is done by Greg Land. The interior work is done by several artists. Greg Land, Drew Greasy, Patrick Zurcher, Jose Marzano Jr., Karen Doyle, Rich Burnett, Heidi Ramos, Miguel Guerras, John Cece, Sean Pearsons, Mike Collins, Steve Bard, and Wayne Future. Yep. And of course, they give credit to Marv Opa and George Perez for giving the name Nightwing to Dick Grayson. Also, these issues deal with stuff related to Nightwing on the Bloodhaven police force, where at one point he basically switches the costume in the middle of an actual raid on a building. Yeah, he does that. He's also dating at this. So he's dating at this point in time in this book. He's dating Barbara Gordon, and in the 80-page giant, he decided to make out with Catwoman. Yep, he does that in one of the stories of the book. Yep, he seriously does. I love Nightwing. I think Chuck Dixon's run is fantastic. For this 6th volume that collects his run, I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. You're thinking, really? Not much to talk about here? Well, it's good. It's really good. Not really bad per se. It's mostly just continuing some stuff here. We'll also sort of basically wrap up stuff for now before Chuck Dixon officially ends on issue 70. Alright, next up it is Ragman. Yep, just Ragman. Yeah, this collects the Ragman miniseries. Now, they do in fact change Ragman's look. You see, initially this is not his this is not his regular look for Ragman. Oh no, this is basically just a reborn version of the character. Now, if you're curious though about Ragman, what is he initially? Even though it looks like this in this book per se, this is how he normally looks. Yeah, that's how he normally looks. This is simply his rebirth for. This is basically the post-Flashpoint version of the character, who first appeared in. Get this, you'll love this one for you. First appeared in Batwoman. Yeah, so he first showed up in the Unknown storyline. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now the original version first showed up back in Ragman #1 in 1976, created by Joe Kubert. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe Kubert, Robert Kanninger, and Reno Studios. The rebirth version, not rebirth, the post-Flash version by Mark Andrego. Mm-hmm. Yes, and then pretty much, excuse me. After that, he appeared in Justice League, and he's also appeared a couple times just like Dark. And this actually is the third volume of his series. Yeah, first released in the 70s. I think the second volume was released in the 2000s. And can you believe this only came out 5 years ago? I almost forgot the fact it came out 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the previous volume came out in 1991, and that was also a limited series as well. Like, really? Yep, really. What about the initial volume? The original one. That was actually an ongoing series. It lasted for 5 issues. The previous one was 8, and this was only 6. So if you combine that, that's not even 20 issues. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much all this book is. Of course, Batwoman herself does briefly appear in the book and toward the end of the miniseries. It's supposed to be an adventure for him in Gotham City. Anybody think because Gotham City has Batman so much trouble in this book? Well, the answer: does Batman himself appear in the pages of Ragman? No. No, he doesn't. But Batwoman does. Yep, Batwoman does. And we also have appearance by Etrigan the Demon. Yes, because Rory is a supernatural character. Even having part 4, we have the infamous 2-page spread to turn on its side. What do I think of this miniseries? It's pretty good. Not as good as Chuck Dixon stuff, but it's pretty interesting for what it is. Mm-hmm. We have appearance here by the Shining Knight, the female version of the character. Mm-hmm. Or I think it might be Morgan Le Fay. Mm-hmm. I mean, Ray Fox writes this with the artwork by Ika Mernita. The cover art is done by Gilliam March and Rain Bernito. Mm-hmm. Yep, that says this. It's a pretty interesting miniseries. It's nothing to write home about, but I got this simply because I like the character Ragman, but it's not as good as the first 2 volumes per se. Is it terrible? No, it's not. It's not bad at all. I consider this to be kind of good per se. It's not awesome per se, but it is good. I give this book a 8.5 out of 10. All right. Next up, one more Comic Corner, and then back to the Super Sentai. Okay, next video. Bye.